Heartwarming moment. CEO's mute daughter finds incredible connection with boy using sign language. In the heart of downtown Chicago, amid the swirling hum of high heels and expensive suits, Sarah floated through the world of towering glass offices like a ghost. At 15, she was the silent daughter of a powerful CEO, a girl draped in designer clothes, yet enshrouded in silence. Each day at her prestigious private school felt like another turn to a page in a book where she didn't belong. The laughter and chatter of privileged classmates echoed in her ears, stark reminders of her separation from vibrant life. Every interaction felt rehearsed, devoid of real connection. Longing threaded its way through her heart, a yearning for someone to truly see her. At a community center event meant to showcase her father's various enterprises, Sarah wandered, felt more isolated than ever. The excitement was palpable, laughter intertwined with the clinking of wine glasses. As the crowd moved around her, she felt invisible, a spectator to a world she could glimpse but never touch. It was then that Lucas entered her life. "Hi, I'm Lucas," he signed enthusiastically, catching her off guard. His expressive hands spoke freely, a language that danced between them. Sarah, startled and intrigued, mirrored his smiles with a shy nod. Forgetting her silence, she tried to communicate back in the simplest way, fingers fumbling but hopeful. Their laughter bantered between misunderstanding and shared joy, a connection that felt like sunlight breaking through the clouds. The essence of their interaction stirred a warmth in her chest, a flicker of hope. For the first time, she felt like she wasn't alone. The school hallways turned hostile when kids whispered behind her back. Just a rich girl, they dismissed, failing to see her thoughtful nature. Lucas faced his own battles. His friends viewed Sarah as an outsider, just another spoiled girl with a silver spoon. The contrast between their worlds became a widening chasm that put pressure on their blossoming friendship. Am I just the CEO's daughter to him? Sarah wondered, her heart heavy with fear of judgment. When Lucas's family found themselves evicted, he wore a brave smile that cracked under the weight of reality. His struggle became a turning point, not just for him, but for her too. "I need to tell my dad," she said, but doubt clung to her words. Would he care? Would he help? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now, let's continue. She stood before her father, his expression a whirlwind of compassion tinged with frustration. "We can help, but Sarah, does it really change anything?" His words struck her hard, igniting an internal battle. Charity didn't bridge the gap, they both knew that. It was then that Sarah witnessed the real world. The stigma attached to Lucas's experience turned her stomach. This wasn't just about them anymore. It was about everyone suffering beneath shadows of bigger issues. In an act of courage, she stood up for Lucas amongst their peers, her voice trembling but steady. Conversations erupted, and a wave of emotions cascaded through the room, compelling others to confront the uncomfortable truths of their separate lives. As they reached for understanding, sparks of change ignited within Sarah and Lucas. Yet the challenge loomed greater than ever. Could her father's influence turn into a genuine effort for equality, or would it only deepen the divide? Could their two worlds blend into something beautiful, or would they forever be trapped in each other's realities? The future hung in suspense, leaving hearts racing for what was to come. The following week, Sarah felt different. Each morning she rose with a determination that fueled her days. She kept replaying her father's words in her head. does it really change anything? She found herself searching for the answer. Her heart raced with the possibility of change. At school, whispered criticism still hung thick like fog, yet a small change was brewing. There was a sense of anticipation in the air as Sarah decided to take a stand. She began to learn more signs, practicing quietly in her room with a video she found online. The connection she shared with Lucas became her driving force. Every sign shaped a bridge, pulling her closer to him. One afternoon, she gathered her courage and invited Lucas to the rooftop of her school, a place where the skyline met the sky, a world removed from judgment. The sun painted everything in golden hues. Lucas arrived, his eyes lighting up with curiosity. "What's up?" he signed, tilting his head. "I want to teach you something," she signed back, a grin stretching across her face. Excitement bubbled in her chest as they both dove into practice. She taught him the signs for friend and hope. Each gesture felt like stitching together parts of their worlds, layered with warmth and understanding. "That's beautiful," Lucas signed, his eyes reflecting her joy. "And then, maybe we can teach others?" Sarah signed, her heart thudding in her chest at the boldness of the idea. "Yeah," he beamed, and they shared a moment of silent excitement, imagining the transformations their actions could stir. Over the next few days, fueled by a mix of adrenaline and hope, they orchestrated a presentation at school. Beyond Words was to be a workshop, a space to break down barriers and build empathy. When the flyers went up, reactions flowed in a mix of skepticism and interest. But Sarah didn't let the doubt hinder her. The day of the workshop arrived. Sarah felt her pulse quicken. The room buzzed with chatter, but the tension shifted as she and Lucas took the stage. Stripped of pretense, they spoke from their hearts through a shared language. Sarah signed while Lucas voiced their message. "Everyone deserves to be seen," he said, gripping the podium. His voice was earnest, echoing through the room. "And everyone can learn a new way to connect." Faces in the audience shifted from aloofness to attentiveness. They could see a deeper truth, the laughter and unfiltered joy as they taught basic signs. One by one, they joined in, fingers moving to form words, every sign a gesture of inclusion. As the applause surged, Sarah's heart soared. But when she turned to look for Lucas, his face was tinged with doubt. She saw the shadows clinging to him. "What's wrong?" she signed, concern washing over her. "Will they forget us?" he signed back, his smile faltering, hinting at the fear that had been pushed aside. "Not if we keep this going," she replied, determination fortifying her. "This is just the beginning." Yet, even as the audience reveled in the moment, a flicker of reality settled. Could their workshop spark real change, or would it merely fade like a sunset? As they stepped down from the stage, a nervous energy surged between them. Would this connection shine bright enough to pierce through the shadows looming over them? What would it take to ensure their voices were never silenced? As they faced the crowd, Sarah wondered if they were ready to leap into a world that may just embrace their brave endeavor. The buzz in the auditorium was electric, but Sarah's heart still raced. If only she could hold on to this feeling forever. The applause echoed in her mind, a warm reminder that they had made an impact, even if it was small. Lucas picked at his fingers, anxiously glancing towards the crowd. "Let's celebrate," she signed, trying to lighten the mood. "We did this together." "Yeah," he signed back, his smile hesitant. "But we have to keep it going, right?" "Absolutely," she agreed, feeling the fire reignite within her. "Let's plan more workshops. Let's get everyone involved." The excitement surged through her. It was one thing to light the spark. Now it was about keeping that fire alive. Over the following weeks, they dove headfirst into their project. Sarah and Lucas brainstormed ideas, created flyers, and put together discussions about the beauty of communication beyond words. Every lunchtime, they would practice new signs and encourage classmates to join in. Slowly, the once quiet cafeteria became a lively hub of activity, laughter, and enthusiastic gestures. Yet, while Sarah basked in the glow of their growing community, her mind spun with worry. In the nights that followed, she'd lie awake, retracing the paths they were forging. Would everyone be as passionate about learning? What if the same doubts and whispers returned? One rainy afternoon, Sarah and Lucas found themselves in the library, poring over books about the deaf community, learning stories that fueled their passion. Lucas seemed lost in thought, his brow furrowed. "What's on your mind?" Sarah asked softly, sensing his unease. "I don't want people to forget what we started," he signed, his hands trembling a bit. What if they only learn a few signs and then stop?" Sarah felt her heart twist. This was the fear she had tried to push aside. "If they learn just a few signs, they'll have opened a door," she replied gently, "and we can keep pushing them to learn more. We can set up a club or something, make it a regular thing." Lucas looked at her, considering. "You think they'd come back? That they'd want to learn together?" "Of course," she exclaimed, hopeful. "We can create a community, a family." The light returned to Lucas's eyes, bright and hopeful. They both knew change wouldn't come easy, but what they had begun felt bigger than any worries they shared. As they finalized plans for their next workshop, Sarah noticed a flyer pinned to the bulletin board nearby. It was from a popular club that boasted social gatherings and events. A pang of jealousy stirred beneath her excitement. It was easy for them to draw a crowd, just as it was easy for her peers to overlook those who used sign language, as if they didn't belong. "Lucas," she signed, "we have to make sure our group is known. Let's show everyone this matters." Together, they envisioned banners, social media posts, and even videos that highlighted their mission. The thrill of it consumed her, wrapping around her like a comforting blanket. But before she could voice the ideas swirling in her mind, they were interrupted by her classmates slipping past, the noise of their laughter ringing hollow compared to the connection she felt with Lucas. "Are we ready for this?" he sighed, uncertainty creeping back. "We have to be. This is just the beginning," she smiled, ready for whatever came next. With newfound energy, they left the library, stepping into a world that felt both daunting and filled with possibility. As they broke through the library doors, a sharp voice echoed down the hall, cutting through the warmth of their daydreams. "What are those two doing?" The dynamic duo turned, startled, to the source of the comment, the shadows of doubt looming once more. What were they really up against, and could they rally their peers to join them before the voices of judgment took hold again? Feeling the weight of the challenge ahead, Sarah stole a glance at Lucas. Would they be strong enough to push back against the whispers? The hallway felt colder after the comment, like the air itself held the weight of doubt. Sarah's heart raced as she exchanged a glance with Lucas. His eyes reflected the same mix of determination and worry that flooded through her. "Just ignore them," she urged softly, her hands moving decisively. "We know what we're doing. We have to focus on our goal." Lucas nodded, but the doubt lingered in his eyes. The buzzing energy they felt just moments ago began to fade, replaced by a sinking anxiety in the pit of Sarah's stomach. What if their mission was met with resistance? They continued their walk, but Sarah's mind was on high alert. The laughter of students around them was a constant reminder of how difficult it could be to break through. They reached the cafeteria, now filled with the noise of chatter and the sound of chairs scraping the ground. They found an empty table tucked away in the corner, their usual spot. As they sat down, Sarah pulled out her notebook. "Okay," she said, trying to shake the lingering doubt. "Let's outline the ideas for our next workshop. We can brainstorm themes that really connect with everyone." Lucas took a deep breath, ready to dive into planning. How about focusing on body language? It's something we all use every day without even realizing it. His hands moved excitedly as he began listing ideas. Perfect, Sarah signed, smiling as she engaged with his enthusiasm. For a moment, the voices around them faded. They mapped out games, fun activities, and even snack ideas that could draw their classmates in. But then Sarah's focus wandered. She spotted a group of students laughing and gathering by the popular club's booth. Her stomach churned, remembering the comment just outside the library. Would their heartfelt efforts stand up against the allure of what was familiar? "Are we reaching too high?" she whispered, casting a sideways glance at Lucas. His face set in concentration, he didn't immediately respond. "Everyone deserves to communicate, Sarah," he finally signed, his eyes serious. "We can't give up because it's hard." His words sparkled with honesty, reigniting something deep within her. "You're right," she nodded, determination rising in her chest. "We can't let a few voices drown out this mission. We can change things." Just then, a girl from another table glanced over and gave them a curious look. Sarah's heart quickened. She was ready for something, anything. Maybe they could spark interest, even if it was just one person. "Hey," Sarah called out, catching the girl's attention. "We're hosting sign language workshops. Did you want to join?" The girl raised an eyebrow, intrigued but hesitant. Sarah could see her weighing the decision, the moment stretching into a tense silence. The girl paused, glancing at her friends before locking eyes with Sarah again. "I might be interested. What's it about?" Lucas leaned forward, excitement flaring between them. "It's about communication, connecting with each other," he signed quickly, gesturing passionately. As they explained further, Sarah felt a thrill surge through her. What if this was a sign? What if this moment could turn into more than they ever hoped for? But as the girl began to smile, one of her friends smirked. "Don't waste your time with that," he called out. "Why learn some weird hand signs when you can just talk?" The laughter rippled through the room again, a wave of discouragement crashing against the shore of their hopes. Sarah's heart sank, but she held on to the flicker of determination in Lucas's eyes. "Don't let them get to you," he signed firmly, as the laughter grew, unapologetic. What if they were meant to break through? What if they could show their peers the magic of sign language? Sarah took a breath, feeling the weight of the challenge ahead. They could be the ones to make a difference. "Let's keep pushing," she decided, her hands moving with certainty. "We can find a way." As the noise of the cafeteria began to settle, they gathered their thoughts and ideas, ready to face whatever came next. Little did they know that the moments ahead could either shatter their spirits or strengthen their resolve in ways they could never imagine. Could they turn the tide against the whispers, or would doubt drown out their mission for good? The cafeteria hummed with life, but in their corner, an invisible wall wrapped around Sarah and Lucas. The laughter of their peers felt like a distant echo, almost mocking their aspirations. Sarah's mind raced, battling the noise around them, the naysayers, and all the fears simmering beneath the surface. "Do you think we can really do this?" she asked, vulnerable yet hopeful. Lucas, still putting together his ideas, looked up. His eyes widened slightly, not in surprise, but in understanding. "Yes," he signed confidently, his hands fluid and full of conviction. "We can make them see. It's about showing them, not just telling." Sarah took in his words, heart beating faster. Lucas always had that way of making challenges seem surmountable. She glanced around the cafeteria, searching for anyone who might be curious enough to join. With a flicker of courage, she looked back to the girl who had shown a hint of interest moments before. "Hey, what if we showed you a few signs right now?" Sarah proposed, brimming with excitement. "Right now?" The girl hesitated, her friends watching closely, amusement still flickering on their faces. But there was something in Sarah's determination that held her gaze. "Yeah, it'll be fun," Lucas added, his hands moving with energy. He didn't wait for encouragement. He began signing simple words. "Hello, my name is Lucas." His expressions lit up, drawing even more attention. Sarah's breath caught. This was it. She joined in. "I'm Sarah. We want everyone to learn." A ripple of uncertainty danced across the nearby tables. Students were suddenly interested, whispering to each other, curiosity hanging in the air. The girl smiled, then stepped closer, her friends trailing behind. "What else can you teach?" she asked, the initial skepticism beginning to fade. Sarah felt hope creeping in. "We could teach you basic signs." "Like, thank you," she signed eagerly, her excitement contagious. The girl mimicked her, a tentative smile growing on her face as she raised her fingers. "It's easier than I thought," she exclaimed, her voice low but enthusiasm bubbling. "Exactly," Lucas signed again, nodding vigorously. "And fun. Everyone should know how to communicate with each other." The group around them was now larger, laughter morphing into genuine interest. The weight of doubt lessened, replaced by something lighter and more exhilarating, the thrill of connection. But as quickly as the energy shifted, a familiar voice rang out again. "Why do you even care? It's just hand signs." It was the same voice as before, filled with derision. A smirk adorned his face, aimed at the growing crowd. Sarah felt the color drain from her cheeks, but Lucas reached over, taking her hand firmly. "It's not just about signs," he signed passionately, his eyes ablaze. "It's about understanding. It's about being there for our friends, no matter how they communicate." A moment of silence hung in the air, heavy with unspoken thoughts. Then one of the girls in the group, a quiet observer until now, finally stepped forward. "Can you really teach us how to do this? Not just for fun, but to help those who can't speak?" Sarah's heart soared. This was their opening. Yes, that's the whole point. We want to create a community where everyone feels included. Slowly, the judgment gave way to genuine enthusiasm. Students began to pull closer, eager to learn, and the noise in the cafeteria shifted. Laughter transformed into attentive chatter filled with curious questions. As the workshop ideas swirled and the energy in their corner grew, it felt like more than just a small step. It was a beginning, a chance to weave a tapestry of connection through the threads of communication that celebrated diversity. Yet, just as hope bloomed, the smirking voice struck again. "This won't last. You can't just change minds overnight." Sarah bit her lip, the lingering doubt creeping back. Could this moment really be a seed for change, or was it just a brief spark destined to fade? With her heartbeat racing and uncertainty swirling, she turned to Lucas, his determination unwavering. "We can't let them discourage us," he signed quietly, a reassuring smile lifting his spirits. But the challenge loomed larger than ever. Did they have what it took to keep this momentum going? And what if their single moment of success turned into something much bigger than they ever imagined? The food trays clattered and the chatter resumed around them. But in that corner, a new energy pulsed through the air. Lucas and Sarah exchanged glances, their eyes filled with shared dreams and unspoken fears. Lucas squeezed her hand, a silent promise. They would not let anyone dampen their spirits. "Let's show them more," Sarah proposed, her heart racing. "What about teaching them things they say every day? Words that mean something to them personally?" Lucas nodded, his enthusiasm contagious. "Yes," he signed. "Let's create a list of basic words, things like friend, family, and love." A soft murmur spread among the growing group, a mix of curiosity and excitement. The girl who had stepped forward earlier returned, her eyes wide with interest. "Can we learn to sign our names? I want to know how to introduce myself." "Absolutely," Sarah exclaimed, her voice bubbling with passion. "We can all introduce ourselves. It'll be fun to see what names mean to each of you." Excitement crackled as the students gathered closer. They sat on the floor and drew circles around them, eager to be part of this new experience. Soon, the tension gave way to laughter as Sarah guided them through the sign for each letter of their names. Lucas signing right alongside her, adding flair and enthusiasm. As they practiced, even some of the onlookers who had previously scoffed began inching forward, curiosity overtaking judgment. A boy with a skeptical look crossed his arms, but couldn't suppress a slight smile as he watched Lucas translate words into signs. "Wait, what about emojis? Can we sign those too?" he joked, trying to lighten the mood. "Great idea," Sarah shot back, playful and undeterred. "We can sign feelings, happy, sad, excited, all of it." The more they learned, the more the atmosphere shifted. Instead of mockery, they embodied a shared kinship, learning together in their little circle. The cafeteria, once a cacophony of harsh laughter and jeering whispers, transformed into a buzzing hive of learning and interaction. Yet, elsewhere, the boy with the derisive voice still simmered, foreboding in the back of the room. "What makes you think they'll care?" he challenged again, voice dripping with skepticism, though now it faltered against the tide of connection blooming before him. "But what if they do?" a voice piped up from the group, a girl who had been initially quiet. "What if we show them it matters?" Sarah's heart soared at the support, feeling her resolve strengthen. "Exactly! We don't need everyone to believe right away, but if we can change one mind at a time, that is something. Together, we can build a bridge." As her words rippled through the crowd, a buzz of agreement filled the air. Hands shot up, fingers moving swiftly as they introduced themselves, laughter brimming like sunshine breaking through clouds. Each name signed was celebrated, a new connection made, laughter dancing around them. But just as they began to grasp the profound joy in this shared experience, the cafeteria doors swung open suddenly, a gust of wind pushing through the space, every head turning to see who had arrived. "Hey, what's this?" A group of upperclassmen stepped in, clearly intrigued but skeptical. Sarah's stomach twisted, hope clashing with uncertainty. Would they squash this budding community before it could even take flight? Or could they find a way to invite them in, to join a growing movement? As the laughter faded, anxiety tightened around Sarah's chest. She glanced at Lucas, whose eyes reflected determination, an unyielding belief that this was only the beginning. What would happen next? Would they rise together, or would they face yet another disappointment? The chatter in the cafeteria dampened to a whisper, eyes darting between the newcomers and the growing circle of friends. The upperclassmen, dressed in their casual yet confident styles, seemed to carry an air of authority with them. Sarah's heart thudded in her chest. "Who are they?" she whispered to Lucas, pressing closer. "Just give them a chance," he signed back, determination gleaming in his eyes. The group of upperclassmen exchanged glances, some appearing amused, while others looked genuinely curious. One with a serious expression broke away from the group and stepped closer, arms crossed, studying the scene before him. "So, what's going on here?" Lucas took a deep breath, glancing at Sarah, who nodded encouragingly. They had started this together and would face this challenge side by side. "We're teaching each other sign language," Sarah called out, her voice steady despite the tension. "It's fun and meaningful." The serious upperclassman raised an eyebrow. "Really? You think this is going to work? A bunch of kids learning to speak with their hands? Why not?" A girl from their group piped up, fueled by newfound confidence. "It's about connection. We want to share something special." "Yeah," Lucas added, signing vigorously. "We're not asking you to join, just to see." A smirk danced on the older boy's face for a moment before he became serious again. "And if we don't care, then we'll still be here, ready to help," Sarah replied bravely. "You might find something here that means a lot." She gestured to the circle, where more students were stepping forward, slowly breaking the barrier of fear. The slight pressure of curiosity was like sunshine warming cold ground. Other upperclassmen began to inch closer, their expressions shifting. "What's this about signing names?" one asked, a hint of mischief in her voice. "It's actually really cool," Lucas smiled. "You can express yourself differently." "Prove it," the serious boy challenged, crossing his arms again but relaxing his stance just a bit. Okay, everyone, Sarah called out, her enthusiasm reignited. Let's sign our names together, show them what we can do. With her encouragement, the students started chanting their names, fingers flying as they signed their identities. Laughter echoed, igniting the air with warmth. Their carefree motions were met with cautious glances, but slowly the upperclassmen began to loosen up, laughter breaking the ice. All right, I could get behind this, one of the girls laughed. Let me see how my name looks. The atmosphere shifted, hearts opening wider each minute. Sarah glanced sideways at Lucas. She could see pride swelling in him, a well of hope shimmering in both their spirits. See, he said quietly, it's starting to work. But the serious boy remained hesitant, still watching with narrowed eyes. What's the point, though? Just to sign names? Is that really going to change anything? A heavy silence fell for a moment, and all eyes turned to Sarah. The weight of the question pressed down, stirring her thoughts. Deeper connections lingered behind the surface of their playful package of sign language. She knew this was so much more than just letters. It is about building something real, she replied, feeling the weight of her own words. Every name signed is a life, a story. Together, we can share those stories, and that's how change begins. The room buzzed with the energy of her statement, ripples of realization washing over every student. They were not just fingers signing in the air. They were united, fighting against the isolation they felt. But just as the community began to swell, the serious boy stepped closer, uncertainty still shadowing his features. Okay, say I get it. Then what? What's next? A spark of determination flickered in Sarah's heart. Next, we transform this, the way we communicate, how we connect. The cafeteria, once just a series of tables and loud laughter, felt bigger, brighter, infused with possibility. As the students began to sign and imagine a future together, each face glowed with anticipation. But Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that a storm was brewing. The upperclassmen's eyes flickered with something distinctly untrustworthy. What would it take to fully break through the walls of skepticism? Would they stand united against doubts? Or would deeper insecurities snuff out their flame before it truly ignited? The hush that had settled around the cafeteria began to dissipate, replaced by murmurs and laughter. The group of upperclassmen looked intrigued, some beginning to sign their own names, mimicking the motions Sarah and Lucas had led. With each name signed, the atmosphere lightened a little more. The serious boy seemed to soften. His arms unfolded, revealing the tension in his body. Okay, that's kinda cool, he admitted, earning glances from his friends teasing him. Encouraged, Sarah took a step forward, her heart racing. How about we add a twist? Let's share facts about ourselves while we sign our names. It can help us get to know each other better. Lucas nodded eagerly, flashing a proud smile. I'll go first. He gestured with a flourish, signing his name and following up with a fact. I love soccer and plan to play professionally. Laughter ensued, and the upperclassmen looked a little closer, their interest piqued. One of the girls joined in next, signing her name and saying, I'm obsessed with baking. Cookies are the best. As they continued sharing, joy filled the air, creating a web of connections. What had started as a timid group was now bubbling with energy. Every sign, every chuckle, slowly chipped away at the walls of skepticism. Still skeptical, the serious boy shifted his weight from foot to foot, arms crossed once again. But his eyes betrayed his curiosity. And how do you communicate with people who don't know sign language? He asked, a genuine inquiry now. Sarah paused, considering the question. That's just part of it. She looked around at her friends, absorbing their passion. We want to bridge those gaps. We want to encourage more people to learn and connect. It's not just about signing, It's about starting a conversation. As she spoke, something shifted in her. The realization cemented that this movement was bigger than she had initially imagined. It was about breaking barriers, giving voices to those often unheard. The serious boy finally let out a small laugh. "Okay, you might just be onto something." The surrounding students erupted into cheers, their unity palpable as they added more names and playful facts about themselves. Even the upperclassmen joined, caught in the infectious spirit of the moment. Sarah caught Lucas's eye, and they both shared a smile that spoke volumes. They had ignited something. Maybe this was the spark they needed to create lasting change. But just as fervor peaked, a loud clash echoed through the cafeteria. A group of students from the back, noticing the excitement, busted in, their energy harsh and disruptive. "What's this? A circus?" one of them shouted, smirking at their peers. A chill swept through the crowd, laughter fading into uneasy silence. The upperclassmen looked back, sharing tense whispers, their previous curiosity suddenly clouded by discomfort. "Maybe they don't see the point at all," murmured Lucas, his enthusiasm dimming. "Or maybe they just need to understand," Sarah countered, determination flickering in her chest again. She was not about to let this moment fall apart. "Hey, we're signing names and stories here. Wanna join?" she called out, her voice firm. But their dismissive laughter rang true. In that moment, Sarah recognized what they were up against. How would they hold on to their new connection when others sought to pull them down? A decision loomed large. Would they allow the negativity to extinguish their flame? Or would they stand firm in their newfound bond and face the storm together? As she looked around, her heart raced, filled with doubt and hope intertwined. What if they couldn't uphold this moment against the naysayers? But what she didn't expect was the quiet strength emerging within her. Sarah took a deep breath, ready to fight for them all. Sarah stood her ground as the raucous laughter continued to pierce the air. She couldn't let it erode the fragile joy they had built. It was a moment of connection, a chance to show everyone that differences could be celebrated. "No, wait," she called again, her heart pounding. "We're not here to make fun. We're creating something amazing. You can be part of it too." Her voice, steady but filled with urgency, rose above the noise. The disruptive group paused, glancing at one another. For a brief second, the laughter faltered. Maybe they were surprised by her boldness, or maybe just intrigued enough to listen. The serious boy from before turned to the newcomers, arms still crossed, but a contemplative expression on his face. Then one of the boys from the new group scoffed. "Sounds like a failure to me. You think signing your names will change anything?" His words dripped with mocking disdain. The tension in the room felt electric, the air thick with anticipation. But Sarah wouldn't back down. "No, it won't change everything overnight, but it's a step. It starts a dialogue. It connects people who don't know how to connect." There was something liberating in her voice, as if she was unlocking a part of herself that had always wanted to speak out. Beside her, Lucas stepped forward, his previous hesitation evaporating. "Yeah, you might surprise yourself. Why not give it a shot? How about you share something about yourselves too? Let's see what you've got." The invitation hung in the air, and Sarah could feel the weight of hope pushing back against the negativity. A slight shift occurred among the newcomers. One girl, with her arms dangling at her sides, stepped closer. I like video games," she faltered, looking at the floor but tentatively raising her hand. Maybe I could sign my name?" Cheers erupted from the supportive crowd, encouragement fueling a sense of belonging. Sarah could see the serious boy's brow furrow with a mixture of surprise and intrigue. It was thrilling. Perhaps this was exactly what they needed, a beckoning hand from someone who'd been just as lost before. "Absolutely! Come on!" Lucas waved her over, and instantly the cafeteria buzzed with excitement again. It was like a relay race, passing the baton of confidence from side to side. One by one, students stepped forward, revealing pieces of themselves tied to their names. The laughter returned, still echoing, but it felt kinder now, like the warm joy of old friends reconnecting after a long time apart. As they moved through introductions, the earlier tension seemed to peel away. The serious boy finally uncrossed his arms. He looked toward Sarah and Lucas, a budding smile breaking through the clouds of apprehension. Okay, he cautiously said. I suppose I might as well. My name's Brian, and I play the trumpet. The declaration was simple, but it brought cheers just the same. Now that's cool, shouted someone from the back. But just as the friendly atmosphere built momentum, the leader of the disruptive group stepped closer, eyes narrowing. So what? Just because you signed names doesn't mean you're real friends. A ripple of uncertainty spread through the crowd. Sarah's heart sank for a brief moment. The apprehension returned like an unwelcome shadow. She felt the air thicken again, ready to crack and splinter under pressure. Determined to push through, Sarah took a deep breath, grounded by her recent surge of courage. No, it doesn't. But building friendships takes first steps, and today we're taking them. Building understanding opens hearts. A beat of silence ensued, the new arrivals shifting awkwardly at her words. But within that surreal stillness, Sarah felt it again, an awakening flicker of hope. Would they rally and stand together against the negativity, or would they allow the moment to slip away? As she looked across the cafeteria, this time she noticed their eyes glimmering, a mixture of determination and excitement reflecting back. They were ready. What could this moment ignite? Would they come together, or would a single voice of dissent dissolve the bond they had just begun to form? The air in the cafeteria crackled with uncertainty. The once boisterous laughter had quieted, held in suspense by the challenge posed by the leader of the disruptive group. Yet Sarah felt a warmth bubbling just beneath the surface, fueled by each person who had stepped forward to share a piece of themselves. She knew they were not done. Everyone, listen, Sarah called, her voice cutting through the tension. This isn't just about signs. It's about us coming together as a community. Do you want to be part of something special? We can support each other and learn from one another. Her heart raced, resonating with each pulse of hope that thrummed in the room. Lucas stood beside her, eyes wide, filled with belief. Exactly. The more we share, the more we become friends. This connection can break barriers. It can break the silence. The soft murmurs of agreement began to pour in again from the crowd. There was genuine curiosity, a pulse of empathy lighting their spirits. The serious boy, still watching, seemed to consider their words, and Sarah saw the flicker of change in his expression. Having a common ground starts somewhere, she continued, turning to the group. Let's sign together, share our stories, show how we really are more alike than different. As more voices joined in, the cafeteria began to swell with excitement again, each person signing their name, revealing their passions, and expressing the weight of their stories. Laughter surged back, indignant against negativity, transforming into a powerful anthem of unity. The girl who liked video games stepped forward again. I signed my name. I'm Lily, and I do cosplay too. Cheers erupted as her declaration echoed. Each student who followed brought with them not just their names, but a slice of their identity. Sarah felt her heart swell with pride. This is it. We're creating something amazing right here. Something that breaks the silence and celebrates our voices. Excitement flooded through the crowd, a palpable surge of connection that no doubt could extinguish. The shadows of earlier doubts weakened against the light of each shared moment. Then came a voice, breaking through the crowd. I want to sign. It was Brian, the serious boy. I'm Brian, and I love jazz. His confidence shone bright as he signed his name, propelled by a tide of encouragement. The room erupted, applause and cheers washing over him. Suddenly, the previous skeptics closed ranks, showing their curiosity. It didn't matter if they had teased moments ago, they were feeling something real now, a flutter of hope as they opened themselves to friendship. Recognition glimmered in Sarah's eye, and she caught Lucas's gaze. They were on the brink of something extraordinary. Just as they had dared to imagine, laughter and learning blended together, weaving a vibrant tapestry of connection. Yet, as bright as the moment felt, Sarah could sense the storm lurking. The leader of the disruptive group seemed poised to interject once more. "This is all sweet, but will anyone take this seriously? Will this be just another passing phase?" For a moment, uncertainty wove itself into the fabric of her hope. Sarah glanced at Lucas, and he nodded, his quiet determination steadying her heart. "No need to worry," she signed back softly. "Let's show them how real it is. We can't lose this energy. This moment can truly spark change." With a rush of adrenaline, she faced the crowd once more. "If we keep this going, if we show everyone that this matters, then it becomes real. We can create a club, a space in our school for everyone." The room buzzed, astonished whispers of agreement filling the air. "Yes," Lucas signed, igniting enthusiasm. "Imagine a community of people learning, sharing, and supporting. Who wants to help us?" As the crowd buzzed with excitement, the shadows of doubt began to dissolve. Students who had once held back stood taller, filled with purpose. Excitement roared, spilling from their hearts, resonating through the cafeteria, as each pulse of hope pushed against the lingering fear. And then the leader of the disruptive group spoke, his voice edged with uncertainty. "How are you going to make that happen? Just a few signatures won't turn into a club." There was doubt in his tone, but among the crowd, Sarah could feel resolve building. Rallying herself, Sarah stepped forward, determination blazing in her eyes. "It starts with commitment. It starts with us. If you want to be part of this, if you believe we can make a genuine difference, then join us." In that moment, a ripple of connection surged through the group. There was power in the realization of their collective voice. The cafeteria became a space of unity, illuminating their courage and passion. "Let's make it happen," Lucas signed, inviting everyone to come forth. "Together, we'll invite more people to bridge the gaps." The response was instantaneous. Students began to brainstorm, pitching ideas, visions filling the air. Workshops, social media campaigns, a sign language club. Together, they began to create a plan that would erupt beyond the cafeteria into every part of their school community. The energy was electric. The seeds of change had taken root, and Sarah felt the warmth of hope bloom within her heart more than ever. The challenges they would face weren't gone, but in that moment, united in joy, they were ready to rise against them. They would build their community together, one sign and one story at a time. Nothing could quench the flame they had ignited, not in the depths of judgment, not in the whispers of skepticism. They had embraced their voices and the connection they had forged. And as lunch faded into a swarm of laughter, learning, and friendship, Sarah couldn't help but smile, knowing this was just the beginning of something transformational. This was their moment. Now it's your moment to act. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Comment your reactions and feelings about the ending. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait, not even one more second to share. Only true fans understand the importance of supporting the channel through these actions.